let's see, a couple of things. First of all, gradebook should be completely up to date for you guys. So some of you didn't turn the assignment in correctly and I sent it back. And you can fix those mistakes if you forgot to attach a certain part or something. I'll be a lot more lenient this week with the late work and getting all of that turned in and kind of meeting my expectations. On Google Classroom is where I kind of put the comments on why something didn't get full credit. And then in Gradebook in PowerSchool, you'll just see the grade. But that's where we are. Other than your resumes, like I said, I'm going to take time to read over those now that I got everything else graded. Hopefully I can get those read this week before your assignments are due on Friday. So if you have questions about how yours is graded or why something is missing or marked off, just let me know. So here's our Google Classroom. So yesterday we did those examples and then you had the worksheet for homework. Make sure you turn both of those in on Friday in one Google Doc with some of this other stuff. So even if you took pictures or made two different documents, you'll just cut and paste and make it one document. All right, so your mini project, that's what we're gonna start talking about today. I know it says resume analysis, we'll do that second. So your mini project, this is what we are doing instead of a test for chapter 1. It's right here. You can open it now if you want to, you do not have to. So all of these projects are worth 40 points. Again, this is going to replace your test. This is due on Sunday. So if you look here, it says your mini project is due midnight on Sunday the 7th. Everything else is due Friday at 3. Again, I'm giving you more time for this because it is a bigger project. And you'll start it for your homework tonight. So choose one of the following. So first your first option is to research a job from 20 plus years ago, 10 years ago, and today. Prepare a slideshow displaying how the job has changed. You should have a minimum of 5 slides, introduction, 20 plus years, 10 years ago today, and a summary. So that's a very minimum. The minimum work will get you the minimum passing grade. Projects are expected to look nice. They're expected to take more than 15, 20 minutes. If you only spend 15, 20 minutes, your grade may reflect that. So here, it could be 20 years ago, it could be 40 years ago, just something a long time ago. Sometimes people do stuff in the future, what the job is expected to look like in another 20 years, different predictions, how the job has changed, is it in demand? What's the pay like? Where is this job most popular? Different things, more than you're going to spend 5 minutes finding on Wikipedia. Dig a little deeper. This second one, this is the one I'm going to say is hardest. It seems the easiest, but it's hardest to get full credit on because sometimes there's not as much out there. So be careful with it. Even though it seems the easiest, it can be, but you may not get full credit. So research a famous person of your choice and write a biographical summary. How did the person get started in his or her career field? What education level did the person achieve? What special training did they receive to develop the skills? I'll want to know who you picked. I'm just going to tell you right now, if you pick, some movie star or some star athlete, you're not going to find a ton kind of on what they needed. Sure, you can do it and you'll meet the requirements, again, to get a very minimal grade. I've had somebody do LeBron James. They went to Wikipedia and summarized what was already summarized on Wikipedia and then tried to call that a day. It's not going to work to get you the grade you're hoping to get unless you don't really care and want a mediocre grade. All of these used to be presentations in class. Since we're not in class, we're not going to do presentations. You have your option on kind of how you want to do most of them. You could do a slideshow here. You could write an essay. You could do like a Google Draw and make like a poster and then attach some summary with it. Your choice. For most of these, same thing. Conduct online research, accessing government data about the history of the business cycle. Use Google Slides, report to the class the following. You don't have to report. All of this should be in there. What was the longest period between recessions? What was the shortest on average? How often can we expect the business cycle to repeat itself? What are some of the reasons for a change in the business cycle? So if you're more interested in that part of it, kind of how the economy changes over time, this one might be up your alley. Next one, conduct online research on the types of master's and doctorate degrees that are available. Choose 2 types from different fields. For each one, research program requirements, including entrance requirements, program content and length, and approximate costs. You can do a poster, a slideshow, or any presentation style of your choice. Again, you don't have to present it. So make sure what would be in a presentation is there. So those of you that maybe know you want to go on, and some of you I know said wanted to get your doctorate of some level, maybe this is a good way to look into that. Next, prepare a slideshow what it would be like to own your own business. Use pictures from the internet depicting a small business that is successful or one that failed. Identify traits of successful businesses and unsuccessful ones. So kind of like pros and cons, do this, don't do that, compare and contrast, find some examples of things that have and haven't worked for people. Maybe you talk to people that you know that own businesses. That's an option to go there as well. And then this last option, choose 2 websites that are for job listings. Assess each website for their content in terms of quality and quantity of information available and compare the 2. Include other things such as user friendliness, types of jobs offered, and any other helpful information. Which would you be most likely to use and why? Again, I'll want to know what 2 that you're doing so that you can compare and contrast and make sure nobody does the same 2. Again, the more you deep, oh my gosh, the deeper you dig, the better off your grade will be on this project. So there's kind of, these are minimum. Again, the amount of effort you put into it is going to reflect in your grade. They should look nice. We are doing this instead of a test. So they're due Sunday at midnight. They lose 10% each day they are late. So a little different on the late policy for these because it's going under a test grade. And if you don't do it, tests are half of your grade. So half of your grade will be sitting at a 0 until you get it in or until the next test. Questions on the mini project? So again, this is going to be your homework tonight to get started on it. It'll also be kind of what you're expected to work on Friday and any other free time that you don't meet your time requirement for this class. This is what you'd be working on. Tomorrow, I plan on kind of asking, I think tomorrow, what your plan is, and it might change, but that way I can make sure nobody's doing the same 2 things. If you have an idea for an alternative or want to make a change to one of these, please let me know. I am open to other ideas. These are just some of the ones that I already had. All right. If there are no questions, we'll move on to the resume analysis. So this is right here. So this is going to be done in breakout rooms, but I'll go over the instructions and hopefully make it all clear. So it says analyze a high school resume and cover letter. We are only looking at the resume. Ideally, we probably should have done this before you turned in a resume. I found this activity after, and I liked it, so I decided to keep it. So this is a student resume checklist. This is an activity I found online. Obviously, I didn't make it. Some of this stuff I don't completely agree with, and you'll find different perspectives on resumes. But overall, most of it's the same. So formatting. Does it look like a professional document? Is it one page in length? Make sure your information fills the page without looking crowded or condensed. Emphasize major headings, use bullets, make things stand out. Proofread, keep spacing and formatting consistent. List dates consistently. Use only appropriate file style fonts and sizes. No pictures, no personal information. Make sure you have your full name, mailing address, phone number, and email address that is professional. You don't want an unprofessional email address. You should have an objective highlighting your key skills or qualifications relevant to the job. You should have education listing your degree and major. That's going to be for college. Include the month and year of graduation or expected graduation. GPA if it's greater than 3.0. So it says don't list dates of attendance. That's something that you may or may not agree on. It's not a huge deal. If you put when you're graduating, and it's high school, it's implied your dates of attendance. List any skills. Do not include vague generalities. Include language skills. Have your skill level. Relevant courses, anything you've done that might be helpful for that job. When you get to college, courses will be numbered. So it says write the course name, not the course number. Nobody's going to know what Math 101 was. Experience kind of goes through how to do that. Leadership and activities, additional categories, and then references. Again, this says don't include them. Some things say to include them. So that's kind of a checklist, what you're going to be looking for when you open the resume that I assigned to you. So there are 4 resumes here. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. So there are 4 resumes. You'll go into breakout rooms and I will tell you what resume your room is looking at. You're just going to look at one of the 4 resumes. You're going to make a table kind of like this one saying where the resume glows and where it grows. Where it glows, that means what things did they do well? What stands out? What looks good? The formatting look good? Did they, have their work experience listed well? What glows? What stands out? And then where does the resume need to grow? Maybe their spacing, maybe their work experience is out of order, maybe they didn't put their address. What's missing or what makes it not a great resume? So that's all you're going to be doing. So again, you'll have one resume assigned to your group. You'll tell me what resume number it is, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then you'll just put bullet points. Where does it glow? Where does it need to grow? After so that's what you'll be doing. After all the classes have done it, I'll compile all of the data and kind of review them with we'll go over each of them. So when your group is done today, looking at your one resume and going through the whole thing, going through that checklist, you are free to go. You don't need to come check back in with me. That's why I wanted to do this second, because different groups will take different amounts of time. When you're in your breakout rooms, if you need help, call me in there. I will try to check in with each room. I do expect you guys talking about it. So that means, yes, you're going to unmute yourself, and yes, you're going to talk to each other. If you know there's somebody you want to work with, and that's going to increase your participation and not just you talking to your friend, You can type that in the private chat to me and I will try to make that happen in the breakout rooms. So one person for your group will create a document, will share it with everybody in your group, and you will share it with me. I will see everybody's name that's on the document, and that's how I will kind of be able to follow up with who did what. Are there questions? So I'm getting ready to assign breakout rooms. It doesn't need to be exactly like this, but you could copy and paste this if you wanted to. I don't want you to make a copy of this whole document because I don't want all of it. I just want to, this is not that one. I started one. Oh, so this is just kind of the analysis. Where does it glow? Where does it grow? Nice bullet points. Resume number 2, bullet points, things like that. I assigned number 4 too many times. Okay. So let me stop that. I have to figure out how many people are here. No questions? We're good? I don't want to repeat myself if I don't need to. Make a document, share it with everyone, one person, share it with everyone in your group. There's nowhere to turn it in. You're just sharing it with me. So I can see as you're working on it, you will go through your resume and then just kind of bullet points where it looks good, where it glows, and where it needs to grow. All right. Hold on, baby.
Hey, Miss Rice.
Hi, I'll get you in a room 1 second.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. We're almost done, baby. Okay. Hey, buddy, did you want another pancake? I have one more pancake for you. Do you want to eat it? Hey, Forrest, do you want one more pancake? I have one. Do you want one more pancake? Do you want one more pancake? I want the other one. Okay.